Welcome back to Manufactio. Today we've got a whole bunch of stuff to get through, so why don't we get started with some quests. Now that we've got some automated red and green signs, we can use that to basically get ourselves a little bit, some more beetroot seeds, to get ourselves a little bit further along. You can see I'm up to nearly 300. I've got some copper to go, some redstone. It's probably going to be limited by iron. So back here, you can see I've switched across to an electric mining drill. Do make sure, whoops, not to step onto low voltage cable, but also that you cover the top of the mining drill. I did have a couple of creepers popping up and the skeleton just from leaving these uncovered and nothing much else. Anyway, in here you can see there's a diamond drill head, and that does not have enough power right now, but it is still working. You can see here we've got plenty of iron ore coming in, which of course we do need to process, so it does need to be put in over here. We don't have iron version for these just yet, but they're working their way through. Yeah, that one's clearly going out. There we go. And let's just continue to make sure that they're all processing while we get started. Is that everything? Yeah, seems to be fine. Yep. Okay, aside from the pollution, which is just because I don't have automated greenhouses yet. Right, so today, quests. Let's start with some power quests. We obviously had our sort of steam setup over here. Still works. I've still got 115 coal plus 5 slots here. It's working fine. I do have to watch out for this, however. Say it's working fine, it may well be out of, yep, it's out of water. And that's because this thing can freeze like that. So you are probably going to want to put a lantern over here more than anything else to make sure that doesn't happen. But obviously it does draw in water. Beside this, however, that does consume coal. So it'd be nice to have a set of power that does not need anything input. Wind, water, solar. Those are our options in the pack. So we have basic solar panel. Somebody get a commenter saying, thank you very much, that the solar panels are quite cheap. Of course, you may need a lot of them, and you need some kind of capacitor to actually store the power, ideally. So, first of all, we can get some of these, and let's see how much this actually, or how much have we got? We've got about 3 stacks. Well, 4 stacks actually. Yeah, 4 stacks. Let's just grab another one of each. So that is what 256. So we can get some solar power. Detect that. Yep, that's our solar power. We didn't really too much there, it's just a research stage thing. We can also get some water power. That's 50 of each. There we go, and that is going to run a command script. So that's water and solar. If you're not familiar with water power from immersive engineering, it is largely treated wood. So we are going to need to probably make a yeah, there we go, solar energy and water wheels, I think. So water wheels, it is usually treated wood. Water wheel segment made of water wheels and steel in this particular pack is treated sticks and treated wood planks, and both of those are from treated wood planks, which are from a carpenter, which needs some bronze, and it needs some creosote oil, which is coming from coke brick over here. There we go, block of coke brick. It's around here somewhere. There we go. So clay, bricks, and sandstone. We know how to make that. So I need to make some coke ovens. That'll do off camera, or at least most of it off camera, because it's just basic resources. We're also going to want to make sure we have oil processing. It's a lead into everything else. So oil refinery, even if we don't have an oil refinery running immediately, we'll have to have this as a prerequisite for other areas. Give you a dowsing rod, fluid pump components, and basically other bits and pieces. So let's just get that one claimed. Ooh, I'm short 19. Well, that's not going to be too hard. Hopefully I have enough. I do. Well, there's a friend. There's a Naga. Hi, friend. When you absolutely have to kill every Naga on the base. Except no substitute. 40, I should do. Let's grab some of that. And there we go. Yep. Claim. Good. Okay, so that's all processing unlocked, and that will lead to plastics, which will lead to filters. Plastic's going to be quite important. That needs 200 of each. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to need to just continually pour all my iron into this whole process. You have electric furnaces over here as well, but not too concerned with those just yet. We'll get to those later. Is there anything else? I think that unlocking oil processing has another benefit somewhere else. I think it's over here in advanced electronics. This needs oil processing before you can actually unlock it, and then it heads down into here with all a bunch of other stuff like flight, other bits and pieces. Anyway, I'm off to go and make myself some coke brick, and I'll see you in a few minutes for building those and maybe getting some starting creosote. So I put a 3x3 block of coke bricks out here, and I'm just going to put another layer of bricks on top, just so that we don't get any spawns, just in case. Okay, and then back out here, I'm probably going to put it down this side actually. Right click the middle, and there we have a coke oven. Straightforward. It's a solid 3x3 block, and what we actually want is cold coke out of it, which will give us a byproduct of, well, cold coke block is probably the most efficient, although that doesn't give me a recipe for making it in there, whereas this does. So yeah, it's going to be coal into cold coke, but usually there is a block form as well, and you get some creosote oil out of it. So half a bucket per coal that you put in there, but I'm going to give it a try and see if there is an actual coal block, and we'll see if that actually works. So I'm just going to get some of you, and let's just turn it into a coal block. Yeah, I think my guns have actually run out of ammo upstairs, so they can't actually shoot anything. Okay, so we'll give that a go. I have not, however, run out of ammo. Where are you? You're enemy somewhere. Yeah, we'll come back. Oh, there it is. There it is. Goodbye. Don't know where they're spawning. Haven't a clue. Are you now going to process? Yep, it's going to work fine. Let's obviously come on there. And you can see, yep, there is a recipe for a block of coal. It just doesn't appear when you go through the actual block of coal normal stuff. If you have a look in the coal coke stuff, we're going to get the coal coke out, and we're going to get 5 buckets per block converted. This does, however, produce quite a bit of pollution. It's quite a dirty thing. So bear in mind, this is not in anywhere with plants at the moment. It's in a separate chunk. So, yeah, pollution to take care of at some point. Thank you very much to a commenter also who said the compactor is in the game. Reason why you want a compactor, let's go out here. We're just going to swap out this mold with this one and just throw some steel in there. So it means steel gear, iron gear, steel gear. We actually need 2 steel plates for that. Okay, so I need to make the plates first. Fine. In fact, yeah, let's just process both of them. And 4. Okay, and then we'll swap them back over and process those into steel gears. That should have happened. Steel gear. 2. Metal press mold. There are 4. Why are you not processing into a steel gear? That should be working. Don't know why it's not. There is another way around it, though. You can just make them using a regular recipe. Here I was hoping for the more efficient route. Regardless, that's fine. I guess we'll go make it the old-fashioned way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that'll get us a steel gear. Put that in place. Okay, steel gear. Now, a compactor lets you basically convert recipes like 3x3 recipes, like for example slag, into their or the mini slags into the full-size slags. So over here we need 4 pistons, 4 pieces of redstone. Do I have any pistons spare? I have 1. I can see 1 right there. How about any more? No, let's just make some. Most of the stuff I need is there. It's fine. So let's just go and see if we can make some pistons. I'm going to need some more planks, but that's not a problem. In fact, let me just convert some of these slabs back without dropping them in world. There's some planks. And that's 2 pistons, and I'm going to need some more. What am I short of? Just some iron, it looks like. So, yeah. In fact, let's make a few more. I'm out of other stuff. I'm out of hardened stone. Yeah, let's grab that. And we'll just convert that across into 9 pistons. Okay. So now we should be able to make a compactor relatively easily with that gear, 4 pistons, and 4 of the redstone. Come on. Pistons, redstone. Did the gear not go in? The gear did not go in. There we go, compactor. So I should be able to feed this in with slag from wherever slag is coming from. I may need separating from the regular line. Right now it is going through onto the main belt. What I may need to do is separate that somehow. But I can feed whatever I do with that. I can feed it into this compactor, and out the other side will come the full size thing. Now in here you can see I've already got 17,000 of it. So ideally what I want for this container over time is probably going to be the other form of slag. So if you have a look here, we want this form of slag, which is composed of 9 of the other types. So what I'm probably going to do is put up another container, just so we've got something temporary for now. Set this up so the slag is going the other way, out this end, and then is going into our compactor, and out the other end of the compactor is going to come a piece of conveyor, which is just going to drop kind of nicely into a container, and then this one will become empty for different types of ore, well, metal. So I will go ahead and do that. And that's now done. The compactor's in place. It's feeding this stuff out straight into its own shipping container, which is gaining stuff. I could just feed stuff back around, this kind of thing. Do bear in mind the compactor does need power. So you are going to need to connect it back to everything else, but it should do the job quite nicely, which means I can just reroute the conveyors and job's done. Next up, you're going to need a carpenter, so you may as well make some bronze in your alloy kiln, wherever you put that. I've disassembled the coke oven now because it's given me like 10 buckets of creosote I can use whenever I need to. So we're just going to be able to make the carpenter from here. So 1 carpenter, please. Need a sturdy casing. Yeah, I could make it more efficiently with plate, but I'm not going to. Because, yeah, it's just easier to do it this way. And there's our carpenter block. For the moment, I'm just going to disassemble you. We may still need that grindstone, but hey, I haven't touched it for a while, so I'm just going to drop that in place and grab ourselves a bit of creosote. That. Okay, and dump that in. Let's just see, does the treated wood planks need anything else? Is this going to need power? No, it just seems to convert our ordinary planks over, so let's just convert these slabs back. And I think it does 10 with 1 bucket. So 100 obviously with 10 buckets, etc. And that should be that. So that should start processing. No power. Okay, so it does need power. Yep, RF energy from an engine to do that. And I think I have a way in somewhere around here to get power across above our machine, so we may have to waste that bucket because it's... Oh no, that's not too bad. I could get power in above there and maybe across. It may not like that 1 conveyor belt, but I can get power in. I'll get it in here and then start processing. Okay, so water wheels then. They are low power but entirely passive, and you put them on the side of a kinetic dynamo. I can never remember which way around that dynamo is supposed to go. Can you reverse that with a hammer? You can. So we can always fix that. And just put the water wheels down. I figure out where that zombie is that you can hear, by the way. There's 3 here. Each one produces 30 RF per tick at maximum. We're going to try for a maximum approach. What I think happened was, on the zombie side of things, is I used the stair ability to make stairs for these here. But you can see if I click here, it looks like it's making 2 stairs. It's actually not making 2 stairs. It's making lots. They're just below the platform, I think, and some of those are likely to be spawnable. Yeah, you can see them down there. I can't tell if there's a zombie on one of them, but I'm assuming that's where that noise is coming from, or there's one trapped somewhere else. But yeah, be careful when you're making the stairs. Anyway, we're back to getting passive power generation running, so we just want to make sure we cap this with a block. There we go. No spawning, please. And then we need to go up much further. So up the top we go. Okay. That's around about right. And I just want to be careful when I drop some water. I want it to go that way, not this way. Let's give it a try. No, I don't want it to go sideways, so I'm going to have to build a little bit of a barrier. Let's build this across. Okay, let's see if that works. Yeah. So the idea here, once I build some more barriers down there, is we let water flow from the middle-ish. What happens if we put it there? Yeah, we don't want it to go both sides. It has to go from one side. Obviously, that wouldn't make the water wheel turn. So we want it to go from the middle, down one side, back underneath itself and not flow sideways like this. So we need to constrain it a little bit to make sure that happens. Other than that, you basically attach a connector up to the whole thing. And I'm just going to step on the water wheel. We attach a connector up to the thing onto here. And that's relay. I need a connector. And then you may have to spin this around. I can never remember which way around that is. I think it's this way. But then from there, you can then connect it back to the rest of your system. And we should be able to see whether there's power. So easiest way of doing that is to hook up a lantern or something like that. And get everything together. So back in a second. Okay, let's see if we get this to light. Was my... Oh, there we go, LVY coil. So connect to you. Yep, you're lighting, so you're obviously providing power. Be aware, however, this is liable to freeze up here, so you are likely going to want to have at least some lanterns up here, self-powered, to make sure that your source of water doesn't freeze into ice, and that will cause all kinds of issues if it does. So, yep, probably something like this. Should do. And then powered lantern. That should do again. And drop down my axe out. There we go. So at this point, whoop, don't want to be standing on that. We just need a relay. And then that should be that, pretty much. You can extend this however much you want. We need to basically break this one. Yes, and I want to attach to you. Yeah, there we go. You can have as many of these as you want, but do remember they are quite these quite a lot of space for the amount of power they give. However, they do work, and it is constant power if it isn't for this sort of slightly annoying noise. It is more constant, certainly, than wind power. Wind power decreases or increases depending on things like height and if it's raining, if I remember. So we are going to probably just go for this. Oops, I don't want to sideways. I want to go this way. And clearly I need to do some more work there to make sure that doesn't flow out. No, that's fine. I just need another constraint on the other side to make sure that it can't flow sideways out of this thing. And then we'll have all three running and get the full 90 RF per tick for 3 water wheels out of this whole thing passively. Alternatively, you can build solar generators. And the solar generators are fairly simple to actually make. We can go and grab some control circuits from our automated red and green signs. We can go and then just dump them in a simple recipe to make them. So we want the advanced ones. We don't have any advantage of the advanced ones, unfortunately, just yet. We just need copper plate, steel plate, and some basic control circuits, and they can go in there like that, and we can convert them into lots and lots and lots and lots of solar generators. Okay, so they're sort of okay. I would prefer a capacitor, however. So let me just see if we can actually make any capacitors yet. Nope, we can't make capacitors, so we are going to need to research how to actually do that to store some power. I'll bring these out here and we'll place them down as and when we need to. Of course, they only works during the day. It is solar power after all, so that capacitor is really helpful by comparison to the water generators, which will work anytime, day or night. If you want to upgrade to be less polluting and you don't really care about your drills running all the time, you can switch across to burner drill, not burner drills, electric drills, like this. Okay, and you can see it needs some slight adjustment. You need to make sure that you do cover all the spawn spots, at least. There you go. And in the middle, you'll be able to put in a connector, which you'll then be able to hook up to solar generators. Saves you having to run all the way across your base with cables. Excuse the darkness here as well. I may well think about putting some kind of lantern in later, but everything else needs power as lanterns at the moment. So you can just do as you would normally expect to do here. We're just going to basically go upwards and across. That needs one more, I think. Yeah, and then you can just build a little circle. Leave the middle spare. Well, when I say circle, I obviously mean rectangle. It is Minecraft after all. And then you can just put in, some solar generators. That. and then just hook them up however many you actually need or think you're going to need to run things constantly during the day. I'm not sure, so I just put 4 down. And then you can just basically remove the blocks underneath, connect them to a center block of some description. We probably want to put that 1 higher or 2 higher. Yeah, and then we can have our relay. Again, I really hope this comes out on YouTube. We have our relay connected to the connectors. The relay will then hook up to the connector down here. And you are good to go, I think. Yep, there it goes. So I just need to do that during the daytime, and I'll bring you back in a second. And here we are during the daytime. 2 does not seem to cut it, so I went and crafted some more LV wire connectors. Hopefully I don't electrocute myself to death. Oh, that's a bit redundant. Let's hope I don't electrocute myself. Let's get that connected. How about now? Nope, it's consuming all the power that can provide. How about 4 of them? Oh, nearly. Okay, it's getting there. And we have a few more, so I can put in 5. Let's try that. Okay, and as before, just the power connector. Yeah, that's just about keeping it up, isn't it? A little bit. And we can obviously put it in a 6th just to hopefully overdo this, but each one of these you can see is 37 hour per tick during the day. That means day and night combined you're obviously going to get about half that, about what, 18 or so, 17, 18. And obviously these are much easier to make than the water wheels, but you need some kind of power storage for them. So yeah, your choice entirely. And how about now? That's building up quite nicely. Now that will still work into the night a little bit, but not terribly much. You can see it's only 21,000 RF. That is not a lot of power storage. So 6 of those during the day, as long as it's not cloudy, will produce enough power. So you could just go with 8 and maybe cope with it during the cloudy daytime as well. But I don't too much care about that for now. Is that actually even able to spin? Am I out of... Yeah, there it goes. Am I out of resources? I'm possibly out of resources. I may need to move that 1 block over, but you know, the concept is there anyway, and it shouldn't produce pollution, at least not carbon pollution. It will still produce sulfur pollution a little bit using electric drills, but it's definitely worthwhile switching across now that we've got easy platform building with our building gadget. We've got passive power generation if you want it to do that way, or indeed local power passive generation with solar generators. So your choice entirely. And no, we're not out of ores. You can see there we've got redstone still. We've got 129 diamonds to go and 7,000 lead or so. So this should actually work. It doesn't just appear to not show me any. I don't need this much redstone. I could throw it away and see whether that actually works or not. But hey, this should actually be running. Does the actual wheel actually spin on the electric drill? I've got another one running over here. We should be able to see whether that's actually the case or not. Yeah, it does, when it has resources to dig. Oh, in fact, I know what it is. I've just not selected the output side. I rebuilt the whole thing, didn't I? And because I rebuilt it, I need to reselect one side. So you output there. There we go. Okay, so that's going to work, and it's working perfectly fine. Yeah, it seems to take the power regardless of whether or not it's working. Very, very odd. Anyway, yeah, that's up and running. And of course, once you have treated wood, you can upgrade stuff back here so you don't get this ugly effect of things sitting on belts. Thanks very much for commenting. They said you can shift right click with a hammer like this to make it a 45-degree incline, which is exactly what I want to do here, because I'm going to want to put all that stuff that's on the belt into there. There's only a few stacks, but that stops it from needing to drop down. We can just put a regular hopper down there or something like that, and it will feed quite naturally in there. We can get the top covered up, and more importantly, I don't think it's going to actually merge like chests will. So if I put 2 chests here, which is a much cheaper option in terms of not needing this kind of stuff, then it's going to merge, and this one will not, which is good. Then I don't need that. This should insert just fine, and we just need another hopper, but obviously that's quite cheap as well. And there we go. It should only then stay on the belts for as long as it actually needs to. This whole splitter thing, it just didn't seem to be fair. The one where I split it two-thirds, one-third, it just didn't seem to work reliably. So I just ended up doing it, splitting halves, and half going one way, half going the other, even though the recipe called for two-thirds, one-third, and I'll cope with it. Basically, if I do the split, it doesn't provide enough plates this way. If I do the just half and half, it provides too many plates. So again, we'll just go with the same thing of having these crates in place and having them be a buffer, so we don't need to drop them down and leave them on belts. We just have a buffer ready to actually be consumed whenever we like, because we've got quite a lot of resources in our factory now. So you can see I've now got 3 wheels running, so that's 270 hour per tick maximum. And you can see over here, the existing steam power is connected only by this one cable here. So if I break this cable anywhere, like for example, in fact, no, that's powering this, so I've got to be a bit careful about this. I need to break that relay there, and then everything should all be connected to the water power. I want to see whether it's actually, good enough to basically be getting on with, rather than using up coal and of course polluting stuff. So let me just go and grab a few blocks for a second, and let's go and see if that's doable. Where's my wood supply gone? Yeah, that'll do. I do actually want to get to forestry farms soon as well, because hey, they get us to automated farming, which is probably the next good step there. Let's just see if we can disconnect our steam power and see if everything shuts down. Obviously, we can replace the drill with a daylight-powered whole setup if we want to. And do I actually want to disconnect that one? I think I do. Yes. Although I need to remember where I need to reconnect it to later. But let's just get rid of you. Okay. And this thing, as far as I'm concerned, I can just grab all the coal out of it. Yeah, that's all gone. That should stop producing pollution, I hope. You can obviously break blocks if it doesn't. But everything is still actually running. You are still getting enough power. And we can see if we can get brownouts later and figure out how many more water wheels we need. And the last thing you can do for passive power, sort of passive power generation, at least at the moment, is to hook up your biogenerator here. This does not have much in it right now, but if I just feed this in, you'll see it has input there. So you can feed the output from this side of the biogenerator, which produces biofuel, into the biogenerator itself, and then use that to basically provide extra power to your factory. I'll probably be building an array of these. Right now, that's just going down into that shipping container. So I'm not actually using it for anything. I was making sure I had enough of it so that I had plenty of earth I could make. So plenty of dirt, essentially. And I have multiple stacks of that now, so I don't really need any more dirt. So I can then reuse this whole thing with a few more of them, because we have stacks of, particularly the hemp seeds, from upstairs. Of course, we are going to be automating that soon, which needs blue science, which needs a couple more things in our research tree. So we need this engines, and we need this advanced electronics, because if you look at the blue science, there we go. Ignore the engineer's workbench. Standard assembler needs a package power drill, which is an upgraded version of a regular power drill. So, or regular, burner drill. That's how you make them. And it needs these two things, which are unfamiliar, but they are going to be an engine, and they are going to be the sort of advanced power circuit. We know what they are. So back in here, we want engines first. That's going to be 100 of each. Let's just actually grab that while we can. There we go. Okay, so we'll grab that. Oh, that sounds like a Naga coming in. Hi! I need to make more ammo for my miniguns. Anyway, that's that one done. That gets us the ATV vehicle. I don't want an ATV vehicle in a void world. I'm so sorry. Yes, that's fine. Requires fueling using the crayfish jerry can. Yeah, that's not going to be for us, I don't think. If you're in a regular world, feel free. So that's where we're heading, automated farming. That means we also need advanced electronics. That's going to be 200 of each. I don't think I have quite enough just yet. I have 28 plus 28. That's not enough. So we'll leave that running. However, since I've got an excess of red in our sort of military area, or Exotic military, we can go for a tool belt upgrade. Gets us more actual inventory space. Okay. And we could also get chunk loading as well. We may as well. It's all red science. So at this point, we can just get red science really quite easily. And you can also go into template building, an RF builder if you wanted to. Not sure whether I'm actually going to use that, but that'll let you duplicate parts of your factory. Toolbelt upgrade 2 requires green science, so we don't need to do that just yet. And if I right-click this, I think, is it just right-click? Eat me. Yes, available expanded inventory. I can't eat you until presumably I'm hungry. It's not actually doing anything for me. So yeah. Inventory rows 3 to 4. Expandable inventory. So I'll wait until I'm hungry enough to be able to eat and then use that up, and we'll get some more bits and pieces done. That's about it for this episode. I just want to get the extra power options done. Also some basically automatic mining during the day without any need for coal. And I'll be converting across pretty much all of my mining sets to do that, because obviously the powered mining drill is not polluting, or not as much, nowhere near. And then what I think the next episode I'm going to do is go into silos. Silo projector or silo blueprint. Seems simpler to make. Yeah, and it's 7x7x7, looks like. And basically have all of these drills, wherever they are, feed into a silo or multiple silos. So if we have, for example, you see our furnace building there, it's going to become a building leading out this way. If we have a parallel building alongside here for inputs, then we can just have lots of silos. They are quite large things, or you can use shipping containers, I suppose. It doesn't really much matter what we actually use there. And you can do that for the inputs. So we end up with lead and gold and everything else coming in before they get furnace. Furnaced. Before they get smelted. All right, so hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. We'll get back to it next episode with some sort of more automation and maybe even getting to blue science. It depends on the rest of how my red and green research on that takes. But we'll see you next episode. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you have, give it a thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the bell for notifications. But more importantly than all of that, just like all the other episodes, do leave comments for your fellow players who can give you, well, or you can give them hints, tips, and tricks from your playthrough. As always, guys, thanks for watching.